Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Macy Marie. Showers and storms are rolling through the mountains at this hour, and while they're not severe, our weather team has issued a severe weather alert day due to the chances of flooding in the next couple of days. Brandon Robinson joins us now with the very latest on what we're expecting. Brandon, what's up for us next?
Well, tonight, Mace, it's been basically showers and storms off and on throughout the day. Lots of lightning, not as much as last night, but starting to develop some lightning. Let's take a look right now across the last few hours, last 6 hours, matter of fact, and we're seeing those develop and starting to fizzle out to the west. But here in the eastern counties, we're starting to see more of those trying to condense there. We're seeing lots of lightning there just south of Jackson and Breathitt County there, going back over into parts of Perry County and Owsley County. And then we also see up into parts of Pike County, just to the north there of Pikeville, seeing some pretty good lightning and some heavy rain. So today's not the concern, even though outside the WIMT studios you're seeing the rain starting again there on the camera, and over Whitesburg the rain has went through and the sun's back out. It's when the cold front comes through tomorrow. That's when we're going to see those heaviest bands of rain pick up. You can see the big difference there right now. 85 in Hazard, 88 Prestonsburg, with areas where it's rained, 72 in Williamsburg, 74 in London. You factor in the feels like, though, still feels like 90 or above in a couple of places, but everybody else getting cooler with the temperature drop there, and you can hear the rain outside of our studios here in Hazard right now. So tomorrow the cold front arrives. Rain chances will continue throughout the night. Behind that front, much cooler air, and then plenty of sunshine taking us back almost like spring-like conditions. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Mace?
All right, thanks, Brandon. Definitely going to bring an umbrella along tomorrow. The McCreary County deputy who was shot Tuesday was released from the hospital today. Here's a picture the Whitley County Sheriff's Office posted of Tyler Watkins returning home. He was at UT Medical Center and he ate his first meal on Wednesday night. Kentucky State Police say Watkins was responding to a home on Lick Creek Road when Mark Dungan shot him from a car outside the house. Dungan then drove off and hit a constable head-on in his patrol car. Pulaski County deputies say one person is dead following a crash on East Kentucky 452. Deputies say the crash either happened on Saturday night or early this morning. The driver, Kimberly Lane, was driving west when she ran off the shoulder of the road and hit a tree. Crews were called to the scene around 7:30 on Sunday morning when someone was driving by and saw the crash. Over in Wayne County, West Virginia, a man on home confinement was arrested on multiple drug charges. Clay McCoy was arrested after deputies found distribution quantities of crystal meth, marijuana, gabapentin, and Suboxone in his home. He was on house arrest for a 2018 drug conviction. One person was flown out and another was taken to the hospital in an ambulance after a crash on I-75 this morning. Laurel County firefighters say it happened around 6:30 on I-75 southbound near mile marker 48. Exit 49 was shut down while crews clear the scene, and we do not know the names of the people injured or the extent of those injuries at this time. Police say a 40-year-old man was mauled to death by a pack of dogs on a street in Memphis, Tennessee early Thursday morning. The man was found with dog bites all over his body. Paramedics did CPR and he was taken to a hospital in critical condition where he later died. A witness says he saw a group of dogs attacking the man, and when he whipped his car around and started blowing his horn, they jumped off him. The death leaving neighbors there uneasy.
He's here now, he died. That's so sad. Yeah. Ooh, it could have been me, anybody.
Police say they found multiple aggressive dogs across the street, and they say the ones responsible for the attack were from across the street. Two Southwest Airlines airplanes collided on the tarmac of Nashville International Airport. Airline officials say no injuries were reported in Saturday night's collision. The airline says both planes returned to the gate under their own power and were taken out of service for evaluation. Thousands of scouts have arrived in southern West Virginia for the start of the 24th World Scout Jamboree. The event runs from Monday through August 2nd at Summit Betchel Reserve near the New River Gorge National River, and it's being held in the United States for only the second time. More than 45,000 scouts and their leaders from 167 countries plan to participate. Most of us enjoy a daily cup of coffee, but would you enjoy it a little more if you knew the money you spent was going to help your community? WIMT's Laura McCourt went to a local coffee shop that does just that.
When you order a coffee, the money you spend usually goes back to the business. But at the Well in Leslie County, the money goes straight next door.
They started a coffee shop to pay for the food pantry.
Big Creek Missions knew food insecurity was a problem in Leslie County.
4 years ago, we started the food pantry.
But instead of asking people for donations, they took matters in their own hands.
The coffee shop started in January and we opened the food pantry in February.
Only paying a couple of the employees, most people you see are volunteers.
We have them from California, we have them from Pennsylvania, we have them just from all over the United States.
From all different ages.
I'm having a lot of fun so far.
It ended up being more for myself than the kids. I mean, I'm getting the full experience as well.
Not only are the 800 people Big Creek serves each month leaving with a cart full of groceries,
That all they have to do is show up to pick it up.
but every volunteer leaves with a full heart.
A good experience, a learning experience. I hope they are able to teach somebody about Jesus.
Though the work can be difficult at times,
We laugh here all the time.
the experience each person has when they walk through that door makes it worthwhile. In Leslie County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
Mary Lewis says they're always in need of volunteers at the coffee shop and food pantry, so if you're interested, to make sure to give them a call. The 14th annual Hillbilly Christmas in July began yesterday and continued this morning. Around 100 motorcycle riders put their kickstands up for the Randy Jones Memorial Ride. Now, this is the second year for the ride through Pike County, driving to Lexington in previous years before the relocation of the hospital. Organization Chairman Jimmy Kinney says although the ride is not as far, well, it's just as beautiful.
And this year we'll be going to Elkhorn, over to Phelps, back to 119, back to Pikeville, and when we get back here, then we'll do a drawing on a motorcycle.
Now, you do not have to be present to win. Organizers will call you to make arrangements for you to pick up your new bike. Last year, Kinney says they raised more than $50,000, and he hopes this year to exceed that number. We'll have more on this story tonight at 11. One of Kentucky's most famous staples is celebrating 50 years. Employees at the Kentucky Castle are preparing for the celebration this evening. And as Nick Oliver shows us, it's a milestone that has seen some major history.
The castle that sits on this hill is a staple on Versailles Road. Its corner towers perch above the Kingdom of Kentucky. But on the inside, the Kentucky Castle is celebrating its 50th anniversary.
We do so much here is because we know that there's a passion for this place in the community here.
Aaron Coos, a tour guide, knows all the facts. Construction on the castle started in 1969 as a labor of love that ended in divorce and has since seen two other owners. It's been a dream home, a bed and breakfast, and now a luxury hotel. It's even been on the silver screen. But many remember one road bump in between. On May 10, 2004, in the middle of a renovation, the $1.8 million property went up in flames. Only the outer walls remain. To this day, it ranks as one of the largest fires in Woodford County's history. Passerbys lined the busy road to watch the sights.
Well, it's never good to see a landmark like this be, in fire and going.
I was online and my friend's away message said that the castle was on fire, so I thought I'd come check it out.
Years later, the castle was rebuilt, now the home to 17 beds, a pool, ballroom, and a restaurant. Even the food eaten in the restaurant grown right outside on the farm.
This is the first point in this castle's history where people are really starting to realize there's a lot to do here on the property.
And that castle that everyone knows still sits in that same spot, but with rich history and still ruling over the Kingdom of Kentucky. In Versailles, Nick Oliver, WKYT.
The castle is celebrating the milestone with the Beauty and the Beast themed Be Our Guest evening. The event includes eating, dancing, and tours around the castle. It took more than 400,000 people working on everything from the spacecraft to computers to spacesuits to make the Apollo 11 mission possible. And one Ohio woman, Gussie Wallace, had a critical behind-the-scenes role making sure the module got back from the moon's surface. Wallace was the only African-American woman involved in the project. She helped develop new technology for the digital uplink assembly.
They really was proud that we had built it and built a good system that brought them to the moon and back home.
Wallace still has many of the old photographs of her with her team and letters of thanks from officials and supervisors thanking her for her contribution to the program. And if you are taking a trip to the western side of the state soon, Burger Week is almost back in Louisville. A passport kickoff party held tonight at Goodwood Brewing. 25 restaurants across the metro are participating in Burger Week, offering up a $5 specialty burger. Plus, stamping your passport could win you some major prizes. Whether you like your burger dressed simple, unique, or vegetarian, well, there's something for everyone. And still to come on Mountain News Weekend Edition. Tensions are on the rise between Iran and Britain after video of a seized tanker was released today.
And we continue to track rain chances that will likely stay scattered tonight, but as that cold front moves in tomorrow, the possibility for flooding goes up. I'll have the latest forecast in a few minutes.